Hello Foresters, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. I want to apologize because I have been gone. I've been sick for 3 weeks. I have never had a cold over a week. This was the first time. It took me 3 weeks to get rid of it. So I just have to say in my head, I'm 56, almost 57, and I'm just old. But anyways, sorry I look disheveled, but I just got all that stuff out of the closet. I don't know if you've seen my videos, but it was up to my knees for the garage sale. So I was like, let's get it done, and got everything done last night till like 3 in the morning. But went over there at 7 a.m. this morning. Set everything up at the sale. So hopefully I can make some cash. I don't know. And then it'll go towards paying a bill. I paid off 2 bills. So that's another reason why I've been gone. So be patient with me. Trust the process. That kitchen will get done. And I'm just, sorry. I apologize. Like I said, it's just been hard, because I have the 2 jobs, but then sickness comes in. It is what it is. But I hope you enjoy the video. And something happened in the kitchen, when my sister had come, after I had put the sealant on the countertop there, and I completely forgot I did it that day. So when she came, after I had gone into the came into the living room and was vacuuming and everything, and then I ended up started painting, I completely forgot about that. So when she brought all her stuff in, guess where I told her to put the stuff? Yeah, at least I could say there's no gnats on the countertops. But yeah. And after the review, after she showed me the living room, and then I had gone to work. Remember, I had to hop out of there and get to work. It was not even on my mind. I come home, and I said, let me see what she left in the kitchen, because I saw that she left some stuff in the kitchen, and I'm looking around, and you'll see. Yeah. I don't think I'll show you in this video, but you will see it in in one of my other videos. And too much stuff was happening that day, and like I said, I'm old. I'm forgetful. Subscribe! Well, the noises you're hearing is not me at all. I am not moving. So you are hearing the animal's fur rubbing up against the tub. It's seriously rubbing up against the tub. I'm like, what kind of foundation do I have in this apartment being on the bottom floor? I don't like it. I believe the animal's gone now, but still, it's a little disturbing. Just hearing noises and you're like, what is that? But then you realize, oh yeah, it's my uninvited guest. And this, you see that? Ain't it cute? I added it. All right, back to the ASMR of my squatter. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments, because I think it's a raccoon, but I've never heard a raccoon. And then I think maybe it's a possum, but I've never heard a possum. Aren't they pretty quiet? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Enjoy your ASMR of my squatter. See why I want my own place? My own house? And uninvited guests. Ignore the mess. Anyways, look at that. This is my living room. A lot different from when it was Monday, the 21st. So today's the 23rd. I'm going to be painting the living room. Oh, I gotta take that down. It's just going to have a better outlook in a few hours. It needs it. So there's my lovely window. I'm gonna always like that. Usually, yeah. Yeah, but I like it. Wish I had more windows. But I live in an apartment building. It is what it is. So I'm gonna do the ceiling. Oop, got my finger on. Of course, it gets 2 coats in order to cover it up well. Maybe it'll brighten up the place more. You can see the difference. I painted that, but that no. Shanice is still on the floor. But I'm getting ready to finish the other side of the counter. I decided to leave that open because I'm putting the sealant on. I'm like, what if I have a hard time taking the peel and stick off when I want to move out? So I was like, let me just leave that opening. Shanice is going to be hiding it behind her, so that way I just scoop on up in there and hopefully be able to scrape it off nicely. Who knows? We'll find out. But I finally got my drawer pulls for these. I was wondering if I should go ahead and put them on here too. So it'll be 2 big ones on each door. It's just a thought. These were like $13.99, I think. Amazon. I showed you guys the link. Oh, well, it's not going to get done. Oh, this side. Remember how it looked? It was all warped and everything, but it kind of like went down. So I was like, whew. I mean, I was worried. But I only put 1 coat of sealant on because I'm just afraid if I do 2, I'll have a hard time taking it off. I just don't want to have to be charged when I want to move out. So 1 coat's good. So it looks very good. I like it. I'm just glad that the warped went down. The warping went down. All right. I want to have this done today, especially painting. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Looks good. The only reason I put those in there because I didn't have enough flowers to fill out that vase. And plus the vines, you know, the wiring, very huge. And if I bent it more, you would see it sticking up out of the, the vase. Kind of like that. Because if I bent it some more, you would see it poking up out of the picture. So the water, what is that? A water can? I can't remember what you call it. Whatever. Tell me in the comments if you guys know. I just want to know. Okay, I got to quit procrastinating. Getting it done today. Let's go. Getting it done today. How's come I don't remember this? That's how long it's been. What in the world happened here? There it is. Okay, we got this. I almost put that in wrong. I can do it! It works. I don't know if I'm all up in your way or not. I hope not. Usually I am. At least I'm not in my blue shirt. When I did that, seal that side over there, it said not to do it when it's raining. And it was raining that day. But I still think the paper would have warped if it didn't rain. We'll see how it is today, huh? I'm supposed to come back in an hour. But like I said, I'm only putting one coat on. I wasn't going to put sealant around, but I think I should. And, you know, even though I did it better than I had the last time, I still think I should put the sealant because the water excess, you know, would probably just ruin it over time. So just have less worry is what I'd like to have. Where am I at? Okay. My hair, of course. What is this? It was a grain of rice. Thought I wiped down good. Evidently not. Yeah, it is warping up, but let's give it a few days. It says a couple hours, but I'm giving it days. So gotta be real careful with the water. Sorry if you see the gnats flying around. I even have the sink covers over them. They're still getting in. Probably through the bathtub or the sink in the bathroom. Who knows? They always want to be in my face. Like they love my smell, my sweat or something. I can't stand bugs. If this dries really well today, I'll go ahead and caulk it. With both, with the white and the clear. Subscribe! I'm hoping that I won't come back in here and see gnats all over the counter. I really don't know how to react to that if I do. Well, everything's done. Everything's warping up. So we just have to wait and see until it dries. Off to painting the living room. 2 coats. It's going to get done today. I think I'll put my drawer pulls on so you guys can see how that looks. Have to make sure you guys are seeing. So pretty, isn't it? It's cute. It's a flower, a little tiny flower in a flower. It's so adorable. I think it's cute. All right, let's get the screwdriver. I can't even open this. Guess I gotta rip it open. There we go. Boy, what fantastic content. All right. Do I need one of these? I think that's perfect right there. Don't ask me the measurements. I'm not too good on telling it. If you guys notice this is hanging, I forgot to cut that off. I'm going to have to do that after everything's done. Just so you know. Just one of them days. Goodness. I'm thinking it's just me, but we'll see. Doesn't feel like it's getting tighter. It's not. What in the world is going on here? Are they the right screws? They just don't seem to be long enough. That's the problem. I thought just looking at them, they'd look like the same length, but it's not. They're... Well, no drawer pull today. No drawer pull today. So, actually, I can just use the same screw. Let's see if it fits. Much better, guys, right? Be better if I used a drill, but it's buried in my junk closet. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get different screws. This screw's too wide, evidently. It's the right amount of length, but it's just too wide for the hole. It's the way it seems. Yeah, it's too wide. Well, that's it for today's video. Let's put this back on because I do get in this drawer quite often. Wah, wah. I figured I'd let you guys just watch me move stuff around and vacuum. That's where I'll end the video. I'll talk about Daphne, Alabama is where I moved to from October 2018 to July of 2022. I moved back up for my daughter, so take care of her, help her out. You know, she has her boyfriend who takes care of her too, but she wanted me to move back up, so I came back up. And the one thing I miss about Daphne is the sunsets. They were beautiful. I was always taking pictures of sunsets. Always, and I do miss doing that. And I can't wait to go out to Arizona, see my sister, but I really want to see those sunsets besides the Grand Canyon. I'm excited. I'm ready. I've never been that far out in the well, I've been to Hawaii, flown out that way, you know, but still, I've never been on the continent that far out. Furthest I've gone is Missouri. But it was always hot, and then hot in Alabama. Or it was always hurricane warnings. Hurricane here. Hurricane Sally was the worst that I've ever been in. I didn't even know we lost power, but Sheila, she stayed up and she had the generator going and everything, man. I was just sleeping comfortably. But I could never tell winter, spring, summer, and fall. I could never tell that. And, you know, people who's been there for years, they would know, but I was like, it still feels like, you know, summer to me, it feels like it's spring. You know, I don't know. I just can never tell. And the one thing I missed there was the changing of the leaves. And that's fall is my favorite season. And the leaves never change down there. I was very livid when I heard that. And I was like, are you guys playing with me? They're like, no, they don't change. Maybe up in Birmingham, which was like a 3-hour drive north. And I was like, what? And they're like, you'd have to drive up there if you want to see changing leaves. And I was like, no. I mean, I was just livid that I could not see my leaves change. Like I own the season. But like I said, I lived in a, I can't remember if I said earlier that I lived in a subdivision that had 4,000 homes. And I want to tell you, that's not the only subdivision down there in Daphne. I mean, there's buku subdivisions. It's towns that run together. It's Spanish Fort, Daphne, then Fairhope. There's one little town between Fairhope and Daphne, but I can't remember the name because it's a tiny little sign, and you just drive through it. I have tiny little post office, but still, the subdivisions homes were constantly being built. People are always moving in. People are always moving out. It's just a gigantic, busy place. I'm showing you guys that I noticed that there's a cut the wire. I don't know how that happened, but it is down to the little white core. That's what I showed you. But if you ever move down there and you need a job and you're into carpentry or, construction, that would be a job to get into. I remember talking to one lady at another job, and she said it was hard to keep. It was hard to keep somebody who could work on their home. It was hard to find somebody who would stay regularly. But one guy, he got into tree cutting because there's a lot of, the hurricanes. There was a lot of trees that were falling, and then that business took off. Sheila said that when she had him come to remove a tree, he only charged her, I think she said it was either $500 or $700. But when he came during Hurricane Sally and she called and asked him about it, he was saying like $2,000 like a tree or something like that. I was just like, good night. So that was probably be the better thing to get into besides picking up needles. A lot of people drive through the subdivision because people are always picking up those straws from the pine trees. Those straws, they call them straws, the needles, and they're everywhere. So a lot of people rake it up and just stick it in the garbage and set it on the curb. A lot of people drive through and pick those up, and then they sell it. So you can get in that business too, because there will always be pine needles. But yeah, good old me, was a cleaner. I did not love it. Except I really liked the nighttime job because I didn't have nobody around, unless some people were still working out. But it was okay. That's it, Foresters. And those who are new, don't forget to subscribe. Like the channel. Come back. Continue watching me. All right, enjoy me resting at the reservoir in Findlay after an hour walk. I have fun. See you in the next one. Wish I was in Hawaii.